Hi folks, Dave Schmidt here. Hey, it's Tuesday, January 13th, and as you can see, well, I'm not in Sedona, Arizona. I'm actually here in Fort Worth, Texas at Charlotte's home, and bringing you a weekly message. This last week, I should say even the last 2 weeks, has been very interesting. I want to thank all of you just for the patience of last week's program, where both the ambassador was ill with the flu and I had gone through the detox situation and was going through some very similar circumstances. And your responses and the emails that you have sent to me have been very interesting, and I want to say thank you to everybody who had shown some responses. But here's what was interesting. When you start receiving information from people that comes in from all around the world, and these people don't even know each other, they have no idea what each other is saying, and they start saying similar things, and they're not receiving the sources of information that they have from the same similar sources, you begin to see a pattern that is developing. And there is a pattern that is developing. We're beginning to see early signs of shifts and changes. Now, 2 weeks ago, I should say, let me go back, last week on the newsletter, I had reported what the ambassador had said on another radio program that he was on, is that expect this year, 2015, to be the shift of the year that we're going to start seeing the cabal going away. Completely being fully neutered, in so many words, if I could say that. Well, what's developing? Well, the word that was coming, and let me kind of explain how I got this. The ambassador was having very similar symptoms to what I had, and yet we're halfway across the world. And then some of you were reporting that you were having very similar flu-like symptoms that I was having very similar, and I thought it was from my detox. And then one of my housemates, she was experiencing the same exact thing. She thought in the beginning that I had had a flu that I had passed on to her. And we all I won't want to say, but my housemate and I, we started doing our homework. And we said, this doesn't seem right. This is weird. We're all experiencing these same energetic, what you call flu-like symptoms, but they're not flu. What is going on? And then I started sharing with her some of the emails that you had been sharing with me. And a lot of you had commented and noted that at the full moon, right after the first of the year, there was a huge energetic shift that was taking place all around the planet. And all of a sudden we started putting two and two together and began to realize what was going on. We have moved into a new shift of a new energy. Now let me back up and explain what I mean by that. I can go back about 4 or 5 years and I've experienced what I call energy downloads. I can tell it takes place for me in the middle of the night. My body starts to react. There's a tingling and a buzzing sensation that is within me, and it goes on for 3 or 4 hours, and there isn't anything I can do about it. But after all this is over, I notice that there's something that's different. I'm perceiving things slightly different. I'm seeing things a little bit differently. And what has had, literally, there has been an increase in the energy shift that has taken place within my body. Now, for those of you that come to the workshops, you know that I teach very clearly. Our whole planet is going through an energetic shift and change. There is an increase in what is called the light energy at the subatomic level, at the quantum level, that is coming into the planet. The whole planet is receiving gamma ray energy of light. It's at a very, very, again, it's at the subatom level. But the whole planet is being bombarded with this energy, and it's coming in shifts and waves, and it comes through various means that comes from basically what we would call outer space. But what's happening is the whole vibration energy of the planet is shifting, and it's raising up into higher vibrations, and higher vibrations mean higher energies and quotants of light. It happens very subtly. You could totally miss it. You could become so involved in your everyday world that you could be totally oblivious to how this is going on around you. But for those that are sensitive to it, and I am one of those, I'm an energy empath, I'm very sensitive to the energy shifts and change. We saw something. We saw that there was an energetic shift, and what I thought was somewhat detoxing and flu energy was basically a shift. We had experienced what was called a huge download of higher energy frequency, and the body has to adjust to it. And so the body will go through what is like flu-like symptoms as it goes through the adjustments of becoming acquainted or becoming adjusted to this higher vibration of energy that it has stepped into. Now, what does this mean? Why am I saying all of this? Because it's all starting to fall into place. The higher energy is coming into the planet. And those of us that are sensitive to it and aware of it, we are adjusting to it. And our light quotient frequency has increased. But here's what higher energy of light quotient does. It also brings up and exposes any corresponding darkness. So what you're seeing is the cabal of the corresponding darkness is starting to get exposed. And they're coming right out into the open. Some of the recent events that have been happening around the world are classic examples of this. Can you believe that the president of France came right out and said with the recent issue that happened there of the terrorist killing, he says it was the Illuminati, i.e. it was the cabal. He came right out and said that in a national speech. You see, the cabal is starting to be exposed. They are starting to see who they are. And what happens is darkness will, in essence, always end up putting its own noose around its own neck. It's the nature of light and darkness. And this nature of light and darkness is beginning to increase. Now, what does that also mean for us? Well, for the ambassador and myself, we have seen the increase of attacks upon us. Does that concern us? Not really. Is because we both understand that as light increases, the message that we share is composed of light, and as it increases, then the corresponding attacks of darkness will pick up as well. And we understand what its source is. We understand where it is coming from. We know what is going on, so we just take it in stride, is what we do. Because we understand that underneath it all, really what it is, it's darkness that's crying out, please love me. Because love is light. And love is always the highest corresponding form of light that we can have in any type of a response of what we can give back. So in essence, it's extremely important that as we focus on all these cabal activities, that we literally bombard them with love and light energy. As we bombard them with love and light energy, then what happens is they will begin to turn and they will begin to destroy themselves. And this corresponds to the whole Old Testament story of the Gideon experience. See, Gideon led a group of people into what is called overcoming an enemy. And all they would do was go into these in the various encampments and blow their shofars. And it says that the enemy, out of fear, would turn on themselves and would destroy themselves. That's the Gideon effect. See, as we stand in light, as we stand in love, as we, quote, blow our energetic shofars, we are in essence putting out a lot of light energy, and darkness will turn upon itself and will destroy itself. This is the year that we're going to see the cabal neutering themselves. Now, there was a huge controversy in a radio program that the ambassador had, and I had stated last week that he did not make the comments to the cabal and the Pope surrender or die. That was a sensationalism that had come from the radio program producer, and that put that in the title. And he even had a clarification statement on that with a video that he did with Ron Van Dyke, a few days ago. He says, no, they don't have to do that. You see, we don't have to assassinate anybody. They assassinate themselves, in so many words, if I can say that. Those of you who read my newsletters, those of you who aggressively attack me on the YouTube page comments, you see, all you're doing, you're just exposing your own darkness. You're just exposing your own issues. And one of the things I clearly teach at the workshops, as this corresponding light energy vibration is coming into the planet, we have a choice as a human race. We adjust with it. We increase our light. We increase our high vibration energy. We move in harmony and adjust with it. And if we don't, and I'm speaking collectively to the human race, if we don't, those that don't, life gets to be really miserable. It really does. Life's going to be miserable for you. Life will be out of balance for you. It will be somewhat disjunct. You will find a harshness to what goes on in your life. You will find yourself angry and attacking. Why? You're out of balance with the energy of the planet and of the universe. Your energy is out of balance with the higher vibrational energy of love, of which is what we all want in the end. In the end, we all want love and harmony and peace to this world. We want a world that works. We want a world that we can cooperate with each other, get along with each other. We can have respect for each other's differences. And we want a world where we're not aggressing and attacking each other. That's the world that is coming to us. That is what is beginning to pick up. And that is why I so firmly believe that all of this is going to happen, because it's kind of, when you stop to think about it and you comprehend it, it's kind of common sense. As light increases, it exposes darkness. And darkness eventually has no place to go but to go away. So it destroys itself. It consumes itself, is what it does. The light is increasing. And we will begin to see, as the light continues to increase, yes, you're going to see corresponding darkness events, experiences, situations happening in various people. If you find yourself wanting to attack, wanting to aggress, whether it's upon me or whether it's upon others, then I would encourage you to go within. Look at your own heart and ask why. What is it that's bringing up this type of a response within you? We are here to be messengers of light, to do the best that we can. Do we have our own individual human issues? Oh, absolutely we do. But it doesn't negate the message. It doesn't negate the issue. It doesn't change what's happening on a large scale of the universe that you and I are not going to stop. We are here to be a new, complete change of a human race as we enter into this new world of light, as we enter into this new world of a higher vibrational energy. Some of this will take years to develop, and some of it you will begin to see signs of it taking place in the next week, months, etc. There's a new world coming upon us. The light is increasing, the energy is increasing, and the capacity to change our world is increasing. We're the ones that have the opportunity and the blessing to be the trailblazers on the front end of that. I would encourage you to be in touch, to get in touch with what is happening on the inside of you, how you respond to certain circumstances and situations, and see how well you are corresponding to the increase of light that's coming into this planet, into our world. Thank you very much, folks. Have an absolutely wonderful week. Okay, bye-bye.